Hi. We're here again, but this time with something a little different. I mean, it is something that's delayed. Was meaning to get it to you guys from Monday, but there were a lot of technical difficulties. So sorry about that, but it's not too late, right? And there was an upload earlier, but as you realize, it's low. I mean, when I listen with another device, I realized how low it was. Oh my God, apologies about that, guys. But yes, we are here with some tips and tricks for your CSEC and CAPE exams this year. So yes, I am Whitney, and I'll be walking you through some pre-exam, during exam, and post-exam tips. What you do before the exam, what you do during the exam, or what you do after the exam, right? I hope these will help you guys. So what you should do, should not do. But before we get into the video, as usual, you know that, yeah, check us out on our social media platforms. Instagram, go and leave a follow. Like, share our content, hit that subscribe button, comment, and share right away. All right, let's get back into it now. So, pre-exam, put in as much work as you can. I mean, as much, just push to your fullest potential or close enough, because I know many persons don't really push to their fullest potentials. But guys, that's not the point. Point is you need to work before the exam. You need to put in the work because that's the work that you put in that you're going to use later during the exam. So you have to just put in the work. Don't waste time worrying about what little time you have left. The time you take worrying, you could have used it to do something productive. Worrying only wastes time. Do not just read over your notes, guys. Come on, practice past paper questions, because reading over, that's not as effective. When you practice the past paper questions, they'll give you an idea of how your questions will be structured. So do it for both paper 2 and paper 1. On the day of the exam, it is still pre-exam, right? Before you go into the exam room, on the day of the exam, make sure that you have everything you need. So pack your bag from the night before. Make sure that you have everything, all the tools you need, your pen, your pencil, calculator, your geometry set, your ruler, everything, your timetable, your ID, everything. Do this from the night before, because what this does now, is, can you imagine if you show up to exam day and you're worrying, oh my God, let me calculate, oh my God, I don't have this, I don't have that. Then your brain right there, from there before you even go into the exam room, your brain, it does knock you off course. So to avoid that, make sure that you prepare and you're fully packed and ready with everything the night before the exam, at least the night before. Helps to keep your brain in order. And lastly, but definitely not least, on the pre-exam tip, have breakfast. Yes, I know a lot of persons are like, oh, I'm not an early eater. I understand, I'm not either, but have something. Get some tea, it's a porridge, it's a fruit, something. You need something in your body. And hydrate yourself, because it doesn't make sense. You're going to an exam, then suddenly you feel lightheaded and you don't feel good, all because you did not eat anything or you're dehydrated, right? So it's important to look after your health. You can't kill yourself over one exam. Your health comes first, always, right? One life we have. All right, let's jump into during exam. If there are some things on the top of your head that you are afraid that you may forget, just quickly find a slot on the exam paper. As soon as you hear you may begin, quickly find a slot and roughly write it down. Because what happened, we might do one little last minute revision right before going to the exam, and we say, all right, I don't want to forget this formula. Hurry up as a start, just write it down quick. So if anything, you don't forget it, you can go back and look at it. Skip through the entire paper first. So after do that, if you need to, skip through the entire paper to, get the nature of the questions. So you can have an understanding of what the questions are set up like. So if while you're doing so now, you can jot down some answers, why not? Go ahead and do it, right? You have to answer them eventually anyway. But if this may overwhelm you, don't do it. If you know that seeing all these questions, just looking at them and like, you're going to make your head hurt and overwhelm you, don't do it then. If you can manage it, do it. Start with the most time-consuming questions. I would say this, because you don't want to leave these hardest and the most time-consuming questions, the most technical questions last, when you have to be hurrying to get them done, and the chances of getting them done properly is very low. Best to leave with the easiest questions for last, where if you only have 5 minutes, you know, so you can easily jot down 1 and 2 answer done. But if you realize time is a race against you, don't waste time on a question. You are trying so hard to figure out that you ignore the ones that you know for sure. Ensure that before you hand in your paper, the questions that you know for sure, they are answered, right? Periodically check the time to see how well you are working with it and if you need to pick up the pace. So you're working on a question, you check your time, whether you have your own watch or you use the watch in the exam room, whatever it is, you check it to ensure that, all right, I spent 15 minutes on this question. No man, I shouldn't have spent so much time on this one. I need to work faster. Or, wow, look at that. I spent only 5 minutes on this question. All right, I'm going good with time. Do that. Because if not, you may get lost in it and you will realize that you are working in your own comfort zone, like you're doing an assignment that has no time limit. And before you know it, it is 30 minutes and you haven't reached anywhere, right? Guys, breathe, please, just breathe. Most exams, paper 2, like, what's the shortest time for paper 2? Like 2 hours? I mean, in all of that space of time, just take 1 minute and breathe. Or half a minute. Just stop, breathe. It's okay to just rest your hand and rest your brain for a bit and just breathe. I don't mean to go sleep and sleep well. No, but just breathe, guys. Breathe. We're humans, right? Again, we can't kill ourselves with an exam. For essay type questions, draft a plan before writing. So what this does is allow for your writing to flow, and it helps with organization, because then now you'll write in order, because when you're planning to know, you know exactly what you're going to say, the order in which you're going to say it. So when you start right, it just flows, and then it increases your chances of scoring high on organization. For our math type questions now, you need to show all workings step by step. Emphasis on the all. Don't bother skip the step then, because you know it and all that. Yeah, we know you know it, but show it still. That's where you pick up marks in the steps. If a math question is worth 5 marks, for example, and they show all your steps correct, you just do one miscalculation, like I put in 1 3 instead of 1 2 in the calculator, you get a wrong figure for the final answer, you may end up getting a 4 or 4.5 out of the 5, because it's the working out that carries the mark, you know, and the working out carry the most marks. Yeah. And a final answer shows you know the steps, them and you're good. Always write out the general form of a formula before you jump into using that formula. So if a question asks you something about using the current ratio, working out it for the business, write down the formula of what the current ratio is, the general formula, right? The current assets divided by current liabilities, write that down. Then now you jump ahead and plug in those specific numbers for that specific question into that formula. You get a mark for the formula thing. And even if the numbers them wrong, at least they can see that yes, you know the formula and you can pick up a marks there. So block out any distractions and unnecessary thoughts. We're humans, and I know we have enough things going on our brain sometimes, but not the exam, just focus on the exam. Everything else can wait. Just dedicate only to 2 to 3 hours to the exam, and everything else can come after. Avoid overthinking also during the exam, because you may overthink something simple and go end up with foolishness, because you may know the answer, but because you're overthinking it and all that, you end up on the one wrong answer. So you have to trust yourself. That's why you have to prepare, guys. Please, we are begging you to prepare as much as possible so that you can trust in yourself and your abilities and be confident in that. Answer what you know, guess what you don't know. Here? So answer, make sure so before you submit your paper, everything where you know for sure, answer. And whatever left where you don't know, hello, just guess it, yeah, man. Sometimes they can use the context clues, because you may not know what exactly the answer to the question is about. Context clues may help you. Keywords in the question may help you. So just write something, guess something and write it. I mean, sometimes the foolishness what we guess makes sense. It's just because we don't trust ourselves that the foolishness makes sense. The foolishness makes sense. But yeah. But never, ever, 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 ever leave a multiple choice question blank. Never. It's when you share then the paper them with the multiple choice, make sure that every single circle, well, every single line, every single row have one something shared. Only one if you share two. Only one, please. Thank you. Yes, it's multiple choice. Do any minimum more if you have to, but don't leave none blank. Pull your knowledge from all your subject areas. It's not just, if you're doing math, it's not just about math. You have to carry into English in it. How are you going to comprehend what the question is asking? Maybe you're bringing the accounts into the maths or whatever else, but pool your knowledge. We don't learn in segregation. I always say this, guys, it's important. And just pool your everyday life knowledge as well. Learning isn't about a particular subject area and applying what you learn in that class to that exam. No, your brain is like a vacuum for information. So you gain knowledge, you just pull it together and use them whenever. Lastly, trust in yourself. You have to trust yourself. Please do, or you might mess up because you're not confident. So just trust in yourself and your abilities. And if you're a believer, definitely always trust in the Lord, right? All right, let's jump into what we should do after exam or what we shouldn't do. Post-exam tips. It's best if you don't discuss the paper in too much details. I mean, it's done already, guys. Nobody get no headache over it. I mean, it's fine to say, hey, I didn't expect that, man. The question, the paper that do hard, or something that expect you going harder, or my God, man, we didn't need more time than that. Then we kidding. That's fine, but don't go in details. We get to number one. So you go on, let's send up on the blood pressure, anxiety for no reason, and you can't do nothing about it, so just make it stand waiting. Want to rest? Take a break. Just rest after you do one exam. Don't jump into one next studying. Just rest for a bit after one exam. Then you go ahead, rest, recoup. And then now you can get back to the studying if you have more exams to do. And if you don't have any more exams, when you do your final exam, you just rest, treat yourself a bit, take a break, and just relax, right? All right, and that would be it for your exam tips and tricks for CSEC and CAPE from your Tutoring team. We wish you guys all the best. Go ahead, just put in the work and go and reap those results. I mean, nothing good don't come easy, so you really have to work for it, right, guys? All the best, and it's never too late. I always say it's never too late until the day of the exam. So if you still feel like your exam isn't here as yet, you have a few days left, you need a little more work, a little more practice, a little more push, and all of that. You need some more help, you can still reach out to us. It's never too late until the day of the exam. It's not even the night before, the day before the exam. You just have to do what you have to do, right? All the best, guys. Go make yourselves proud. Until next time, bye.